I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Las Vegas Live. I'm your host, Adam Torres, and before we get into what's new in Vegas and our weekly top 10 list of best things to do in Las Vegas, let's start with a quick shout out to our sponsor. Vegas Near Me was built to solve a problem that every Las Vegas visitor faces. There's no single place to find everything happening in the city. They built that place. VegasNearMe.com covers more than 65,000 pages of Las Vegas content. That's 16,800 plus businesses, 5,700 plus restaurants, 900 plus shows and events, 226 property and venue maps. So what does this mean and why does this matter? Most entertainment sites only list what they directly sell tickets for. Vegas Near Me lists everything. Then they let you compare prices across Ticketmaster, AXS, Vivid Seats, Vegas.com, and other providers before you buy. They also cover things like hotels. You can browse every major Las Vegas property. You can compare room rates and travel rates. I'm telling you, check out VegasNearMe.com. All right, let's get into what's new in Las Vegas this week. Hell's Kitchen opens in Las Vegas this week. 6 performances at the Smith Center. We'll get into that. Rosalia plays T-Mobile Arena Saturday night. The Lux Tour. World Series of Poker main event starts on July 2nd, only 2 weeks away. Okay, now let's get into the top 10 things to do in Las Vegas this week. Rosalia Lux Tour at T-Mobile Arena. Rosalia plays T-Mobile Arena Saturday night on the Lux Tour. Rosalia has won 2 Grammy Awards and 11 Latin Grammy Awards. Her 2022 album debuted at #1 on Spotify's global album chart, earned the highest Metacritic score of that year, and produced a sold-out world tour. Her 2025 album, Lux, which this tour supports, was recorded with the London Symphony Orchestra and features Björk. It is performed in 14 languages. The album was described by Rolling Stone as one of the most ambitious records released in years. Rosalia's music is genuinely unlike anything else in popular music. Flamenco, reggaeton, electronic, classical, and pop fused into something that resists any single description. Her live show has been called the best production in music by multiple reviewers at every stop of this tour. Saturday, June 27th at 8:30 p.m., one night only at T-Mobile Arena. Visit VegasNearMe.com for the listing. Number 9, World Series of Poker 2026, 2 weeks to the main event. The World Series of Poker enters its most electrically charged stretch of the summer this week. The main event, the $10,000 No Limit Hold'em World Championship, the most prestigious poker tournament in the world, begins in 2 weeks on July 2nd. In the meantime, this week at Horseshoe Las Vegas, the 1,500 Millionaire Maker and several 5,000 No Limit events draw the largest recreational and professional combined field of the summer schedule. The energy in the Horseshoe Poker Room right now is unlike any other stretch of the World Series of Poker calendar. The fields are big, the prize pools are significant, and every player in the room knows the main event is coming. For anyone planning a Las Vegas trip, the 2 weeks from now through the main event opening July 2nd are the best time to see the World Series of Poker as a spectator. You can walk into the Horseshoe and stand within a few feet of the best poker players in the world for free. No ticket, no cover. The Millionaire Maker alone draws thousands of entries at $1,500. Walk-in late registration is often available through the first few levels. Main event registration is open at WSOP.com. VegasNearMe.com has the P World Series of Poker listing and full schedule. Number 8, Las Vegas Aces, 2 home games. The Las Vegas Aces host 2 home games in the early part of this week, the New York Liberty on Tuesday, June 23rd at 7 p.m., and the Dallas Wings on Thursday, June 25th at 6 p.m. The Liberty matchup is the marquee game. New York is one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. The Aces-Liberty rivalry has produced some of the best WNBA basketball of the past 3 seasons. Back-to-back champions at home against legitimate competition is what this league looks like at its best. Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Thursday at 6 p.m. both open up the rest of the evening. Tuesday games are done by 9:30, Thursday games by 8:30, from $20 at Michelob Ultra Arena. VegasNearMe.com has both listings. Number 7, Jeezy, Legend of the Snowman at PH Live. Jeezy plays PH Live at Planet Hollywood on both Friday and Saturday. If A$AP Rocky and Summer Walker are sold out on Friday, Jeezy on Friday or Saturday at $179 is the hip-hop show of the week. Soul Survivor, I Love It, Go Crazy, Put On, My President. Jeezy is one of the architects of modern trap music, and his catalog has never lost the credibility and weight that made it essential. Saturday, June 27th also makes Jeezy part of the weekend's stacked entertainment alongside Rosalia at T-Mobile Arena at 8:30 p.m. and Kenny Chesney at Sphere at 8:30 p.m. 3 completely different worlds of live music on Saturday night, both nights at PH Live, 8 p.m. from $179. VegasNearMe.com has both dates. Number 6, Keyshia Cole, 2 nights at the Encore Theater. Keyshia Cole plays 2 nights at the Encore Theater at Wynn, Las Vegas, Friday and Saturday, and this is the intimate venue option for the R&B audience this week, where Summer Walker plays T-Mobile Arena on Friday night to a crowd of 18,000. Keyshia Cole plays the Encore Theater to roughly 1,600 seats, which is a fundamentally different experience for music built on vulnerability and emotional precision. Love, I Should Have Cheated, Let It Go, Heaven Sent, I Changed My Mind. Cole's catalog spans from the mid-2000s R&B era that defined an entire generation of listeners to more recent work, and her live shows are consistently described as emotionally raw and deeply connected to her audience. The Encore Theater is the ideal room, intimate, excellent acoustics with the full Winds property surrounding it. 2 nights, Friday and Saturday, from $79. VegasNearMe.com has both dates. Number 5, Summer Walker, Still Finally Over It Tour. Summer Walker plays T-Mobile Arena on Friday night on the Still Finally Over It Tour. London Under Track's breakout artist became one of the defining voices of contemporary R&B with a debut album that set streaming records and a catalog that has only grown in cultural weight since. Girls Need Love, Playing Games, Come Through, Session 32, Lake Tahoe, No Love. Over It is the album that introduced her to the world, and Still Over It deepened it. One of the most emotionally direct and sonically precise R&B records of the last 5 years. Her live shows are consistently described as emotionally raw and deeply connected to her audience. A performer whose recorded work is already confessional and whose stage presence makes the quality even more immediate. T-Mobile Arena at 7:30 p.m. on Friday, and the tickets start at $51. It's an exceptional value for an arena R&B show. VegasNearMe.com has the listing. Number 4, A$AP Rocky Don't Be Dumb World Tour. A$AP Rocky performs at MGM Grand Garden Arena on Friday night on the Don't Be Dumb World Tour. Rakim Mayer performs as A$AP Rocky is one of the most influential figures in the intersection of hip-hop, fashion, visual art, and celebrity culture of the past 15 years. A catalog built on a distinctive sonic identity that helped define what the 2010s sounded like for an entire generation of rap listeners. The Don't Be Dumb Tour is his first extensive touring production in nearly a decade, built around the album of the same name and a live show that has been drawing some of the strongest stage production reviews of any hip-hop tour this summer. MGM Grand Garden Arena is a 17,000-seat venue that concentrates the energy of the crowd like this in a way that an outdoor festival format cannot. One night only, Friday, June 26th at 7:30 p.m., VegasNearMe.com has the listing. Chesney at Sphere, second week of residency. Kenny Chesney plays 4 nights at Sphere this week as the residency moves into its second week, and the reviews from the opening weekend have been exactly what you'd expect from the combination of this artist and this building. The production was designed specifically for Sphere, not a concert with Sphere visuals added on top, but a show built from the beginning around what 160,000 square feet of round LED and 167,000 speakers makes possible. The catalog, No Shoe Nation, She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy, There Goes My Life, The Good Stuff, I Go Back, played inside a room where every surface is alive. 4 nights, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Wednesday is the quieter option before the weekend surge. Friday is the 5-artist convergence night. Saturday and Sunday are the full weekend shows with the most available seats. The Sphere doubleheader, Wizard of Oz in the afternoon, Chesney at 8:30 p.m., is available on all 4 nights this week. Starting at $105, VegasNearMe.com has all 4 dates. Number 2, Friday, June 26th, one of the most stacked nights of the summer. Friday, June 26th is the kind of night that Las Vegas produces better than any city on earth. And this one is worth naming clearly because of the scale of what's happening simultaneously. MGM Grand Garden Arena on the Don't Be Dumb tour and his first major tour in nearly a decade. At 7:30 p.m., Summer Walker plays T-Mobile Arena on the Still Finally Over It tour. At 8 p.m., Keyshia Cole plays the Encore Theater at the Wynn. At 8 p.m., Jeezy plays PH Live at Planet Hollywood. And at 8:30 p.m., Kenny Chesney is at Sphere. A$AP Rocky, Don't Be Dumb, MGM Grand Garden Arena from $81. Summer Walker, Girl Needs Love, Playing Games, T-Mobile Arena from $51. Keyshia Cole, Love, I Should Have Cheated, Encore Theater at the Wynn from $79. Jeezy, Soul Survivor, Go Crazy, PH Live from $179. Kenny Chesney, No Shoe Nation inside Sphere at 8:30 p.m. from $105. 5 completely different shows for 5 different audiences, one Friday night. The decision is entirely about which artist and which room is the right experience for you. VegasNearMe.com has all 5 listed with pricing and current ticket availability. And this brings us to our top thing to do in Las Vegas this week. Number 1, Hell's Kitchen, the Alicia Keys Broadway musical. The single most significant entertainment event in Las Vegas this week does not happen on the Strip. It happens downtown at Reynolds Hall at the Smith Center, and it is 6 performances of Hell's Kitchen, the Broadway musical created by Alicia Keys, inspired by her life and her music, and described by the New York Times as a must-see, thrilling from beginning to end. The show won the Tony Award for Best Musical. It won the Grammy Award for Best Musical Theater Album. It is one of the most celebrated new Broadway productions of the decade, and it runs in Las Vegas for 1 week only. The story follows Ali, a 17-year-old girl living in 1990s New York City, navigating adolescence, ambition, and a complicated relationship with her mother against the backdrop of a neighborhood that shaped everything. The score is built from Alicia Keys' catalog, No One, If I Ain't Got You, Fallin', Empire State of Mind, and new songs written specifically for the show. Compositions that Keys created to exist only in this context that you cannot hear anywhere else. The choreography has been described as some of the most exhilarating movement theater has produced in years. If you know Alicia Keys' music, the experience of hearing those songs reimagined in this story will stay with you. 6 performances, Tuesday through Sunday, Tuesday and Wednesday, 7:30 p.m., Thursday, 7:30 p.m., Friday at 7:30 p.m., Saturday with an evening show at 7:30 p.m. and a 2 p.m. matinee, Sunday with a 2 p.m. matinee and 7:30 p.m. evening show, starting at $47, one of the most accessible prices available for a Tony Award-winning Broadway production at any touring venue this year. The Smith Center is about 10 minutes from the Strip. VegasNearMe.com has the listing with all ticket options. And that's all for the top 10 things to do in Las Vegas this week. If this is your first time with the show, each and every week, we bring you the top 10 things to do in Las Vegas. Just a quick reminder before we wrap, starting at VegasNearMe.com before you book anything in Las Vegas this week is the move. My name is Adam Torres, and I will see you next week.